So you want to start a country. Well, Stater-Tots, if you didn't feel like overthrowing a government, honestly I can't blame you, it's quite the undertaking, but still have hopes of starting your very own country, you're in luck, I'm here to help. Starting a country, in theory, is relatively pretty easy. Really, there's only a few steps and then you're actually done. Of course, these steps are much more harder to do in our actual world, but hey, I know you're up for the challenge. Now here's the toughest part, making sure you actually fit the bill of being a country. You need to have a set, defined territory. Now really there's no minimum or maximum, but you gotta be real with yourself here. Considering most of you are 18 to 25, there's no way any of you are buying any land. So, we gotta think outside the box. So, where are we getting it? Well, you can always conquer some. Unfortunately, conquering something comes with the added side effect of going to war with whatever country you took it from. And for 40% of you, that means war with the United States. And have you seen Top Gun? That's not ending well. So is there anywhere you can take that isn't owned? The answer is, There's the Bir Tawil Triangle, this little spot in the desert that nobody wants. If you like the desert but prefer it a little colder, you can always try the Marie Birdland in Antarctica. Yeah, these options suck. There's a reason no one claims it. On top of that, most of the unclaimed lands in our world are claimed by other nerds who want to start their own country. So not only are you fighting against the most powerful states in the world, you're also fighting against geography nerds, which is arguably way worse. Of course, you can always take over an existing country. All of these nations don't have militaries, so hey, you actually might stand a chance. Okay, so land is secured. Next step is having a permanent population. Once again, there's no minimum or maximum here, but if you want your country to be moderately successful, you're going to want to shoot for at least a few thousand to maintain the population and the workforce. I have like 18,000 of you guys. Maybe we should try it for ourselves. Would you guys live in State of the Worldistan? Next up, you'll need a government. There's no set rules on what type of government, although you can tell in this channel we clearly have an affinity for one type. However, you must actually have legitimacy, which means the people accept you as the government. I've made other videos on this. I know how to take over a government. I'll let you sort out what kind of government you want. Maybe you're the Republican democracy fan, or the brutal dictatorship enjoyer. Finally, this isn't really a qualification, but it's still kind of important, and that's being able to interact with other states. This was added as a qualification in 1933 in Montevideo, Uruguay, which established the US policy of non-intervention in Latin American states. Yeah, we know how that turned out. But for good measure, make sure you can communicate and reach out with other countries. So, what do you do with all this? Once you have all the necessary qualifications of being a country, you can finally join the ranks of Sealand, Transnistria, and Somaliland and declare independence. Of course, declaring independence doesn't mean people are going to take you seriously. I mean, look at Sealand. But there are certain benefits from being a self-declared independent state. Once you establish yourself as a de facto state, you can finally benefit from some territorial integrity and certain kinds of sovereignty. Basically, if you can prove you actually control the land when you declare independence, it's a lot better than declaring independence and not being able to control the land. Say, an apartment. Thanks to the UN Charter, the use of force in partially recognized countries is technically prohibited. This was made to protect nations that were recognized by one bloc in disregard to the other, and could work in your favor. For example, now that Kosovo is an established state, meaning they declared their independence, Serbia can no longer just freely attack them to bring them back into Serbia. Of course, it's obviously more controversial than that, but this is not a Kosovo video. Now that you planted your flag and declared your independence, it's now time to move on to arguably the hardest part of this journey. Now, being a country is pretty damn useless if everyone just denies your existence. So now it's time to convince them that you are in fact a real country and do in fact exist. A good thing to remember is that you are not entitled to anything. Every country has their own way of giving and getting recognition, and most of the time it's not even cookie cutter, they just do it as they feel. If you want to get the recognition of the United States, spoiler alert, you will if you want to join the United Nations. That is solely up to the discretion of the president. He can just feel like granting you independence anytime he feels like it. Of course, how you get there can vary. For the past several decades, you could have just been anti-communist and they would have let you in easy peasy. But now, their interests are a little more difficult. However, as we've seen, ticking off Russia or China typically still fits the bill. A good strategy is don't be in a position where you can screw up another nation's diplomatic relations. There's a reason Taiwan still isn't recognized as a country. Because recognizing them, no matter how much of a country they actually are, would completely throw away the Chinese market, which the world is pretty keen to sell to. But let's say you do get enough international recognition. How do you certify it? Now, with enough countries backing your existence, it's time to get the gold standard for international recognition, a seat in the United Nations. Now, you might think getting membership in such a prestigious organization is a long and arduous process with a lot of bureaucratic red tape, but really it's actually pretty dang easy. All you gotta do is send this letter to the Secretary General. In connection with the application of your country for membership in the United Nations, I have the honor, on behalf of your country, and in my capacity as President, to solemnly declare that the country accepts the obligations contained in the Charter of the United Nations and undertakes to fulfill them. then sign it. I'm not even kidding, it's literally that easy. All you gotta do is slap that bad boy in an envelope and send it to Antonio Gutierrez, Secretary General, the United Nations, First Ave at 46th Street, New York, New York, 117. Once that's done, what's likely to happen is that the Security Council is gonna open it up, read it, laugh hysterically at it, and throw it away. To get the approval of the Security Council, not only do you need a majority vote, but these 5 countries all have to agree that you're a country. And these 5 countries don't agree on anything. But let's say you somehow do get past the Security Council. Then you need to face the UN General Assembly with a 2/3 vote, recognizing that you are a peace-loving state that can carry out the duties of the UN Charter. With that done, you're in. Welcome to the international community. Yeah, it's usually like this. Don't worry. Thank you for watching Stater-Tots. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks once again to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. Huge shout out to them. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.